The goal of this video is to help you better understand how to read and perform your lifts throughout break. You will see that all of our exercises are divided into 4 different categories: the A's, the B's, C's, and D's. Note that you cannot move on to the B's until you've finished the 3 sets with the A's. Again, same with the C's and then with the D's. Under each lift, you will notice different memos in red lettering. These are here to help you better understand the cueing or different things that you need for these auxiliary lifts. If we look to day 1, here, you'll see that our first main lift is back squats, during which you'll perform 2 warm-up sets, and then we have 4 working sets of weights that we need to move. As a reminder, after you've performed your first working set, you will work your way through B2 through B7. Please note during this phase, we will only be performing 3 sets of the auxiliary lifts within the B's. So that means you will cover the back squat for set 1, then your auxiliary lifts. Back squat for set 2, auxiliary lifts. Back squat for set 3, auxiliary lifts. Back squat for set 4, then you move on to the C's. Note this is the only block that you will ever perform 4 sets of the lift. If you notice, within each day, we will have 4 weeks of work being performed. Within those 4 weeks, you'll see that we have different phases that we cover. You are being sent home with 8 weeks of work. So from December 12th to December 30th, you'll be performing an eccentric phase. Following that, you'll have a concentric phase from January 2nd to January 6th. On the next sheet, from January 9th to the 27th, we will be following an isometric phase, and January 30th to the 3rd of February, we'll be covering a reload week. As you remember, an eccentric phase is the slow descending motion of your range of motion, controlled for a tempo. And during isometric phases, it is the quick drop and stop in the bottom of your range of motion for that set time. Remember that after your time or tempo being covered, you are to explode out from the bottom during each of those phases. During concentric phases, this changes. Now, instead of having a tempo going down or up, now we cover a set amount of time. So for day 1, you will see it's a 7-second day. Day 2 is a 5-second day. And day 3 is a 10-second day. These are associated with types of intensities and volumes that we'll be covering during each of those days. Taking day 1 into account, on January 2nd, you will be performing as many reps as possible as fast as you can with perfect form at 80 pounds during your concentric phase, if we're going off of this test sheet. Day 2, during RDLs, you will have 5 seconds to move the weight as fast as you can with perfect form at that set weight. And again, day 3, you will have 10 seconds for each leg during split squats. to perform as many reps as possible at the set weight that you were given. You will also notice some lifts have 2 different times that are associated with them. Taking a prehab here at A2, we have bench partner hip flexor and bench partner adduction. You will notice for the first 3 weeks you are going to be performing the eccentric phase of this. So for day 1, it's going to be a 3-second eccentric for 2 reps each leg. Day 2, it would be a 5-second eccentric for 1 rep each leg. This will follow the whole way down, so make sure that you are paying attention during your eccentric phase. Check to see if it mentions what tempos you should be working at, and once it's a concentric phase, remember that it's associated with a specific time for that day.